He's the voice behind some of the most poignant, soul-moving country music songs ever written. With his iconic cowboy hat, skinny jeans, and irresistible twang, Dwight Yoakam carved out a unique space in the hearts of millions. Whether it was a solitary night drive or a crushing breakup, Dwight's music made people feel seen, like he truly understood what they were going through. But lately, something's changed. Something major. Fans can feel it. There's a heaviness in the air, a sense that something is wrong. It's not just about his career or fading spotlight, this is personal. Could it be a health scare, a painful loss, or something happening behind the scenes? Whatever it is, it's cast a dark cloud over a man who once brought light to so many. But before we uncover what's really going on, let's take a look at the incredible journey that made Dwight Yoakam a country music legend. Dwight David Yoakam was born on October 23, 1956, in Pikeville, Kentucky, the oldest of 3 children to Ruth and David Yoakam. At the time, his father was serving in the U.S. Army. After his service, the family relocated permanently to Columbus, Ohio, where Dwight was raised alongside his younger brother Ronald and sister Kimberly. The Yoakams were a tight-knit, hard-working family. His father worked at a Westinghouse plant and later ran a Texaco gas station. Music filled their home. Dwight's father gifted him a guitar he had acquired during his Army days, and though Dwight broke that one, he received a new guitar in 4th grade. By then, he was already writing his own songs. The family often listened to country greats like Johnny Cash and Johnny Horton on the road, singing together along the way. Rock and roll icons like Elvis Presley also captured Dwight's imagination. In 1968, the family moved to a new neighborhood in Columbus, and Dwight attended Northland High School. There, he played drums in the school band and took drama classes, landing a role in Flowers for Algernon that helped him build confidence. In his senior year, Dwight formed a rock band with friends called the Greaser Band. They performed at school dances and private events, gradually building a local fan base. After high school, he enrolled briefly at Ohio State University but dropped out to pursue music full-time. His journey wasn't easy. He faced early setbacks, including being scammed by someone promising a record deal. Determined, he moved to Nashville, but the city wasn't ready for his raw honky-tonk sound, which clashed with the polished pop country dominating the charts. Refusing to give up, Dwight took another gamble and moved to Los Angeles. There, in 1982, he met guitarist and producer Pete Anderson, and the two quickly bonded over their love of authentic country music. Together, they began performing in L.A. clubs where the underground cowpunk and alt-country scenes were thriving. By 1984, Dwight had enough material to release an EP titled Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., etc., produced and backed by Anderson. The EP featured Dwight's originals and covers, including Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. It gained traction on indie radio and led to opening gigs with the Blasters. One of those shows landed him a recording contract with Reprise Records. In 1986, his album was re-released with added tracks, including Honky Tonk Man, which became a massive hit. The song's video made history as the first country video to air on MTV. The album went double platinum and topped the country charts. Dwight Yoakam had officially arrived, and country music would never be the same. Beyond the music, Dwight also made a name for himself in film and television. His acting career began in the early 1990s with a recurring role on the CBS crime drama *P.S. I Love You star. Soon after, he appeared in the 1993 neo-noir film Red Rock West and played a rancher in the 1994 TV movie Roswell. But it was his chilling portrayal of the abusive Doyle Hargraves in 1996's Sling Blade, directed by Billy Bob Thornton, that truly turned heads. It was a transformative role for Dwight, one that he said made him realize he could leave a lasting impression through acting. The cast even earned a Screen Actors Guild nomination. From there, Dwight continued to work in film, appearing in The Newton Boys, 1998, The Minus Man, 1999, and the David Fincher thriller Panic Room, 2002. He eventually stepped behind the camera as well, directing and writing South of Heaven, West of Hell, a gritty western in which he also starred and composed the soundtrack. Though the film was a commercial failure, it featured musical collaborations with stars like Mick Jagger and Billy Gibbons. Over the years, Dwight continued to show his range, taking roles in fan-favorite films like Wedding Crashers and Four Christmases, and in acclaimed TV shows like Under the Dome and Goliath. Clearly, Dwight Yoakam's talents extended far beyond music. His artistic drive pushed him to take risks across multiple mediums. Despite his fame, Dwight has always remained fiercely private about his personal life. Over the decades, he's had romantic links with celebrities, but he never married until much later in life. In March 2020, Dwight surprised fans when he quietly tied the knot with his longtime fiancée, Emily Joyce. The couple welcomed their first child, a son, later that year, Dwight becoming a first-time father at 63. It was a joyful, unexpected chapter for someone who had always seemed married to the road and the stage. But even with these moments of happiness, there's still a sense now that something more serious is unfolding behind the scenes, something that's causing fans to worry. Whether it's health-related, a personal loss, or struggles unknown to the public, the weight Dwight seems to carry today has sparked concern across his fanbase. For a man whose voice once lifted so many through hard times, the world now hopes he too can find the strength and support he's long given others. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: Dwight Yoakam's legacy, as a musician, actor, and storyteller, is unshakable. And perhaps, the next chapter of his story is one he'll sing when he's ready. Stars such as Mick Jagger and Billy Gibbons have crossed paths with Dwight Yoakam, but his own journey through fame has been uniquely his. Over the years, Dwight continued to charm audiences in fan-favorite films like Wedding Crashers and Four Christmases, and on TV shows such as Under the Dome and Goliath, proving that his talent extends well beyond music. While he's best known for his singing and acting, Dwight's personal life has also drawn considerable attention, particularly his romantic history. In 1992, he briefly dated Hollywood actress Sharon Stone, with the two appearing together at that year's Academy Awards. The tabloids went wild, and fans speculated that several sentimental tracks from his album this time were inspired by Stone. Dwight quickly quashed the rumors, clarifying their relationship lasted only 5 weeks and had no influence on his music. Then in 1994, he had an encounter with MTV host and actress Karen Duffy at a party, sparking a romance that lasted about 2 years before they parted ways in 1996. After that, Dwight's love life remained largely out of the spotlight until 2020, when he surprised fans by marrying longtime partner Emily Joyce. The couple tied the knot on May 4, 2020, in Santa Monica, California. Just a few months later, on August 16, 2020, they welcomed their first child, a baby boy, a deeply emotional milestone for Dwight, who became a father in his 60s. While he's always poured his heart into his songs, this new chapter added a different kind of depth and joy to his life. Though Dwight typically keeps his private life under wraps, these glimpses show a more intimate, tender side of the country icon that fans deeply appreciate. Emily Joyce, Dwight's wife, is a professional photographer who largely stays out of the spotlight but has quietly played a significant role in his life and career. In 2016, she exhibited her photography work in Los Angeles and has since captured many stunning portraits of Dwight, several of which he's proudly shared on social media. In a 2019 birthday post, Dwight thanked Emily for infusing his life with love and joy, describing her as someone who graciously shares his world. Their son, Dalton Loren Yoakam, was born in 2020, with a birth announcement featuring touching hospital photos and a reference to Dwight's song Waterfall, symbolizing new life even amidst a global pandemic. Despite being a public figure, Dwight has kept his personal life remarkably private. He and Emily have only occasionally appeared together on the red carpet, including at the Grammy Awards and other music events. Their relationship predates their 2020 wedding, with fans having spotted them together on a few occasions over the years. The couple currently lives in the Hollywood Hills. Back in 2012, Dwight described his home as a Spanish-style house surrounded by art, with everything, from the tiles to the lighting, personally selected by him. He revealed that it was where he recorded his album 3 Pairs, and Emily was already a part of his life by then. Emily also contributes to Dwight's SiriusXM radio show Dwight Yoakam and the Bakersfield Beat, often photographing him and guests like Rita Wilson and Jacob Dylan behind the scenes. Together, they've built a life steeped in art, music, and quiet love, a life that clearly means the world to both of them. Of course, not everything has been without controversy. When Dwight and Emily married in May 2020, the pandemic was in full swing. Yet the ceremony, held at St. Monica Catholic Church in Santa Monica, was extremely private. According to Rolling Stone, it took place just days before California's official lockdown began. Fewer than 10 guests attended, all seated at least 6 feet apart in adherence to health protocols. The couple delayed the public announcement of their wedding out of respect for healthcare workers and the unfolding crisis. Despite this, some media outlets and fans questioned the timing and whether the wedding should have occurred. Dwight's team pushed back, stressing that every precaution had been taken and the wedding was a small, intentional gesture of love during uncertain times. The announcement came weeks later through a few heartfelt photos and messages, reflecting the couple's joy and the challenges of that moment in history. Far from scandalous, the event stood as a modest and respectful celebration of love amid global chaos, exactly the kind of sincerity fans hoped for. When it comes to his financial success, Dwight Yoakam has built a staggering fortune over the years, with most estimates placing his net worth at around $45 million. This impressive wealth wasn't amassed overnight. It's the result of decades of hard work across multiple industries. The bulk of his income stems from his musical career, which took off in the 1980s with double platinum albums like Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., etc., and his triple platinum masterpiece this time. Dwight has sold over 30 million albums worldwide, earning not just fame but substantial royalty income. Alongside his chart-topping music, his acting roles and occasional business ventures have further padded his earnings. From honky-tonks to Hollywood sets, Dwight Yoakam has carved out a legacy that spans music, film, and love, always with a hint of that down-home humility that made fans fall for him in the first place. Dwight Yoakam's wealth is a testament to decades of hard work, creativity, and versatility. Beyond album sales and radio hits, his music continues to generate income through consistent royalty payments every time a song is streamed, played on the radio, or featured in a movie or television show. Touring has also been a major source of revenue, with Yoakam reportedly earning between $150,000 and $300,000 per live performance depending on the venue and location. Even with some health-related setbacks in recent years, these numbers reflect the enduring popularity and value of his live appearances. But Dwight isn't only a musician, he's also a seasoned actor. His roles in blockbuster films such as Sling Blade, Panic Room, and Wedding Crashers brought in substantial pay, not to mention residuals and licensing deals. His Hollywood recognition has only helped elevate his public persona, opening the door to more opportunities. Interestingly, Dwight also made a foray into the food industry with his line of Bakersfield biscuits, which expanded into burgers, chicken fingers, and more. The brand was picked up by major retailers like Walmart, providing yet another stream of income. He's even dabbled in real estate, purchasing a Malibu home in 1989 for around $550,000 and selling it years later for $825,000. Although he used that property to finance his self-directed film South of Heaven, West of Hell, a commercial disappointment, he's kept his financial footing strong overall, thanks to a combination of talent, business savvy, and loyal fans who continue to stream his music worldwide. Equally iconic as his music is Dwight Yoakam's signature style. He's known for his ultra-tight boot-cut Levi's jeans, flashy cowboy boots, and the perfectly molded Stetson hat he's worn for decades. According to GQ, he still sports those classic boot-cut jeans from the 1980s, paired with a banker collar shirt and trucker cap, whether on stage or at a red carpet event. His rock-meets-western fashion sense has drawn mixed reviews. Some critics see it as theatrical, while fans praise its raw authenticity and connection to his Bakersfield roots. A key to his standout look is his longtime collaboration with famed tailor Manuel Cuevas, who for 15 years helped create Yoakam's rockabilly-inspired wardrobe. From vintage bolero jackets to flashy embroidered shirts, Yoakam's attire is deliberate and expressive. Fans have even discussed his skinny-fit jeans and boots on forums like Reddit, noting his unique body type as part of what makes his style work so well. Despite his success, Yoakam's journey has not been without controversy, particularly when it comes to legal and business matters. One of the most notable incidents involved Pete Anderson, Yoakam's longtime guitarist, producer, and band leader. Anderson played a vital role in shaping Yoakam's early sound and stood by his side during his rise to fame. However, in 2004, Anderson filed a lawsuit claiming that Yoakam had breached an oral agreement by canceling concert dates in 2002, causing him to lose over $44,000. This dispute came after the commercial failure of South of Heaven, West of Hell, which had impacted Yoakam's finances. Although they settled the lawsuit out of court, the damage was done. Their professional relationship ended, and Anderson later remarked that Yoakam no longer wanted him around. The split brought an end to one of the most influential artist-producer duos in country music history, leaving fans shocked and disheartened. The legal drama didn't end there. In 2021, Dwight found himself in a new battle, this time with Warner Music, the label that once helped propel his career. Fans noticed that some of Yoakam's songs had disappeared from streaming services. Warner claimed the removals were due to expired contracts, but Yoakam believed the label was blocking his efforts to regain control of his own music. He sued, arguing that he was being unfairly denied ownership rights. Fortunately, the dispute was resolved relatively quickly. By February 2022, both parties had reached an agreement, and Yoakam's full catalog was restored to streaming platforms. These legal battles, though frustrating, highlighted Yoakam's fierce dedication to his art and his determination to protect the music that has defined his legacy. Dwight Yoakam has never shied away from standing his ground, even if that means taking on old friends or giant corporations. His defense of artistic freedom has been as intense and unwavering as his music. When he stepped into the role of Doyle Hargraves in Sling Blade, 1996, critics initially questioned his acting choices. But Yoakam surprised everyone, delivering a chilling portrayal of a sadistic, volatile boyfriend with a haunting mix of menace and raw emotion that rendered him deeply memorable. Audiences and critics alike praised his gritty performance, marking it as a powerful highlight in his acting career. In 2000, Yoakam ambitiously ventured into writing, directing, and starring in his own western, South of Heaven, West of Hell. Unfortunately, the film was universally panned. Critics tore it apart for its poor plot, inconsistent pacing, and lack of polish. Variety's Robert Kohler was particularly brutal, stating that the film lacked essential storytelling ingredients like shape, consistent tone, rhythm, and economy. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a dismal 14% critic approval rating. Even Film Threat joined the backlash, comparing watching the movie to eating a sandwich, dry and unsatisfying. Yoakam himself later reflected on how difficult the production was, citing issues like self-funding, acrimonious disputes among crew members, and unpaid invoices. It was a creative risk that left his reputation as a filmmaker slightly battered. Still, Sling Blade remained a testament to his acting ability, subtly intense, menacing, and unforgettable. But his foray into directing with South of Heaven revealed just how challenging it can be to take on everything: writing, directing, acting, and financing, without a solid team behind him. Passion alone couldn't salvage the bloated, incoherent final product, and the critics did not hold back. Both films underline one undeniable truth: in front of the camera, Dwight Yoakam could shine brilliantly. But behind it, success was far less certain. His on-set reputation has also been a topic of interest. On the sets of Panic Room, 2002, and Four Christmases, 2008, Yoakam quietly developed a reputation as what some industry insiders called a complicated genius. Though there were no public outbursts or direct complaints, whispers circulated about his intense, sometimes hard-to-manage method actor style. A 2003 Hollywood Reporter article noted that Yoakam's habit of fully immersing himself in his roles often created a heavy, unyielding atmosphere on set, especially problematic for ensemble casts that needed a lighter energy. In Panic Room, directed by the famously meticulous David Fincher, Yoakam played a burglar terrorizing Jodie Foster's character. Fincher's demand for countless takes, paired with Yoakam's intense, internalized approach, added thick layers of stress to an already demanding production. Yoakam once admitted in an interview with the Associated Press that he viewed acting as fragmented and repetitive, much like recording music, explaining the depth of his immersion. Years later, while filming Four Christmases, these whispers reappeared. The film was intended to be a light-hearted holiday comedy with Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn, but Yoakam's serious demeanor reportedly clashed with the movie's tone. While no co-stars publicly criticized him, some crew members described a business-only energy around him, an intensity that, though respected by a few, may have made collaboration more tense than enjoyable. Nonetheless, Yoakam continued landing roles in both indie and studio films. Directors weren't deterred by the difficult genius label. It only added intrigue to the artist who always took his craft seriously, even if it ruffled feathers. Recently, however, Dwight Yoakam fans have been concerned for an entirely different reason: his health. The country music legend, with his unmistakable voice and stage presence, has had to cancel or postpone several shows due to medical issues. Though he hasn't spoken much publicly, the incidents have sparked concern and speculation online. In April 2025, one of his performances was postponed due to illness. Around that time, reports suggested he was battling a bronchial infection, a serious lung condition that makes breathing difficult. It got so bad that he had to cut a performance short. This wasn't the first time health had interfered. At the Railbird Festival the year before, Yoakam reportedly suffered from heat exhaustion. His band later issued a statement assuring fans he was fine, but the stress of constant touring appeared to be catching up with him. Combined with recent photos in which he appeared noticeably thinner, fans took to online forums to express their worries. Some speculated about serious illnesses like stomach cancer, although no official statements have confirmed anything of the sort. These remain just rumors, unsubstantiated and speculative. As of now, Yoakam and his team have not provided specific updates on his condition. It's possible that age, rigorous touring, and general fatigue are simply taking their toll. Infections, exhaustion, and the need for rest are all normal, especially for someone who's been giving his all for decades. The most important thing is that Dwight is currently getting the rest and recovery he needs. Until he or his representatives speak out with more clarity, fans are urged not to jump to conclusions. Instead, it's a time for patience, love, and hope. Dwight Yoakam's journey hasn't been easy lately. The concern surrounding his health has left fans deeply emotional, not just because of who he is as an entertainer, but because of everything he has given over the years. For decades, he has poured his soul into his music, his acting, and his performances. He has consistently offered something real and meaningful for his audience to connect with. Now, as uncertainty swirls, people are realizing just how much he means to them. It's never easy watching someone so full of life go through tough times, especially someone who has always been the strong one, the storyteller, the cowboy-hatted performer with the timeless voice. While we still don't know exactly what Dwight is going through, one thing is clear: his resilience is just as powerful as his talent. Whether it's bouncing back from failed film projects, personal struggles, or physical exhaustion, he has always done so with grace and grit. What he needs now is simple: time, privacy, and support. True fans understand that behind the fame is a human being who's given so much of himself. This is the moment for the world to give something back, whether it's kind words, patience, or quiet encouragement. No matter what the future holds, Dwight Yoakam's legacy is untouchable. If you found this story meaningful or learned something new about Dwight, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us continue bringing you more stories that matter. And if you want to stay updated with deep dives into the lives of your favorite stars, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a post.